Imagine a land filled with vast forests, powerful rivers, and millions of indigenous people living across the continent. Long before America became one of the world's most powerful nations, it was a place of diverse cultures, exploration, conflict, and bold dreams. Today, we're exploring the fascinating story of how America began. From the first inhabitants to the creation of the United States, this is the origin of America. Thousands of years before Europeans arrived, North America was already home to millions of people. Historians believe the first humans migrated from Asia across a land bridge known as Beringia during the Ice Age. Over thousands of years, these people spread across the continent and developed rich civilizations. Tribes such as the Cherokee, Navajo, Sioux, Iroquois, and many others created unique cultures, languages, and traditions. By the time Europeans arrived, indigenous peoples had built thriving communities, trade networks, and governments that had existed for centuries. In 1492, Italian explorer Christopher Columbus sailed across the Atlantic under the Spanish flag. Although he never reached what is now the United States, his voyage opened the door for European exploration of the Americas. Soon, Spain, France, England, and other European powers began exploring and claiming territories in North America. The Spanish established settlements in the south and southwest. The French explored the Mississippi River and Great Lakes regions. Meanwhile, the English focused on establishing colonies along the Atlantic coast. These early encounters brought both opportunities and tragedy. European diseases devastated indigenous populations, while competition for land led to frequent conflicts. In 1607, England established Jamestown in Virginia, the first permanent English settlement in North America. Life was incredibly difficult. Settlers faced starvation, disease, and harsh winters. Many died during the colony's early years. Despite these struggles, Jamestown survived and eventually prospered through tobacco farming. A few years later, in 1620, another group known as the Pilgrims arrived aboard the Mayflower. Seeking religious freedom, they established Plymouth Colony in present-day Massachusetts. Over time, more colonies appeared along the Atlantic coast. By the 1700s, there were 13 British colonies stretching from New Hampshire to Georgia. For many years, the colonies remained loyal to Britain. However, tensions began to rise after Britain fought expensive wars and sought to recover costs through taxes. Colonists became angry because they had no representatives in the British Parliament. Their complaint became famous: no taxation without representation. Events such as the Stamp Act, the Boston Massacre, and the Boston Tea Party increased hostility between Britain and the colonies. Many colonists believed their rights were being violated and began discussing independence. In 1775, fighting broke out between British forces and colonial militias. The following year, on July 4, 1776, representatives from the colonies adopted the Declaration of Independence. The document, largely written by Thomas Jefferson, declared that the colonies were free and independent states. The Revolutionary War lasted for years and was filled with hardships. Under the leadership of George Washington, the Continental Army fought against one of the world's most powerful military forces. With assistance from France and tremendous determination, the Americans eventually secured victory. In 1783, Britain officially recognized the independence of the United States. America had been born. Winning independence was only the beginning. The new nation needed a government capable of uniting the states. In 1787, leaders gathered in Philadelphia to create the United States Constitution. The Constitution established 3 branches of government: executive branch, legislative branch, judicial branch. This system was designed to prevent any one person or group from becoming too powerful. George Washington became America's first president in 1789 and helped set many traditions still followed today. During the 1800s, the United States expanded westward. The Louisiana Purchase in 1803 doubled the nation's size. Explorers Lewis and Clark mapped vast regions of the continent. As settlers moved west, new states joined the Union. However, expansion often came at a terrible cost for Native American communities, who were forced from their lands through conflict, treaties, and government policies. America continued growing economically and politically, becoming an increasingly influential nation. The story of America's origin is complex and filled with both triumph and struggle. It began with indigenous civilizations that thrived for thousands of years. It continued through exploration, colonization, revolution, and nation-building. From 13 colonies along the Atlantic coast emerged a country that would grow into one of the most influential nations in history. Understanding America's origins helps us understand not only its successes, but also the challenges and conflicts that shaped the nation we know today. If you enjoyed this journey through history, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us for more fascinating stories from the past. Thanks for watching.
The pines still smell the same up on the ridge. These winding roads remember my name, a worn-out bridge. My soul is from this mountain hollow, my heart is with this ancient kin. A path my spirit always follows, this mountain lives within. Ooh.